being in front of the abortion clinics, you realize that this is a great evil because you're actually seeing it. You come to the realization that only Jesus can get rid of this scourge. We can't do anything. We can't do anything. So when you go to these clinics, you bring Jesus with you. You put on Christ crucified and you go. And I've seen girls, they look in your eye and they're looking for something. If you have Jesus, they see Jesus. And I notice when the girls are going in, many of them are in a trance. They're in this trance. And prayer breaks that trance. Plus, so many people have said, "What are you doing there?" And we said, well, this is an abortion clinic. They kill 6,000 babies a year here. Oh, I didn't know that. The ignorance of the people. I firmly believe that people are good, and if they knew, they would do something. So I've seen a lot of miracles at the abortion clinics that result from prayer. A couple of us went down. We knelt in front of the clinic. After 2 hours, a young girl runs out of the clinic. It's evil in there, it's evil in there. She runs around the side. One of us went to the girl, the other one kept the prayers going, because that's our lifeline, the prayers. We got her to go to the women's center across the street. She had an ultrasound. She came back and she said, "This is my baby." She said, "Where were you last year when I came?" So the year before, she went to the same clinic and she had an abortion. She knew where she was going this time. She knew what they were going to do. She had already been inside the clinic and went through this before. What was the difference? I am convinced, without a shadow of the doubt, that Satan was blinded that day in that clinic. And that girl saw the evil. So it's a confirmation that it's the prayer. These prayers go out. It's not just you praying. They go out to the surrounding area. It's powerful, powerful.
The most powerful thing you can do outside of an abortion center is pray. Pray before you go, pray on your way, pray the whole time you're there, pray on your way home. We want to bathe the whole experience, our whole time of serving outside of an abortion center, in prayer. If you're there with a sidewalk counselor, give a little space to the person who is reaching out to the woman, so that we're not overwhelming her or we're not speaking our words of prayer to her. It's easy to feel tempted to use our prayer and our intercession as an opportunity to communicate something with the people that are around us. Like, "Dear God, I ask you to convert these sinners that are walking into an abortion clinic today to kill their babies." That's not going to help anybody. But to say, "Dear God, I ask you to draw these hearts to you. I ask you to reach out on behalf of these women." If you can be heard, we want to communicate love and kindness and invitation to the people that we're encountering, and never leave space to be perceived as standing in judgment. So as a prayer advocate, our job is really simple. We go, we be present, we witness, and pray. We do encourage you not to spend your prayer time socializing or cutting up with other people there, even though that could be tempting, but just really to make your presence a prayerful, loving presence for the people around you. Please don't forget the difference that prayers can make and the impact that prayers can have in this real spiritual battle that is happening around you. Sometimes we'll see the fruit of our prayer. Oftentimes we won't see the fruits of our prayer. Sometimes we'll see people respond really positively to us. Oftentimes we'll see people respond pretty negatively, and that can get discouraging. But we need to stand confident in faith that we are sowing seeds of grace, and that our presence as a prayerful witness is a gift to every person that we're encountering.
I guess about 30 years ago, I was your typical American, Catholic American, I know abortion's bad, but it's not really part of my life, and I'm not really getting involved in it. I'm very busy with my life. I went to a talk by Randall Terry. He was part of Operation Rescue. And I cried all the way home. And I got home, and I was a newlywed, and I couldn't talk to my husband. He's like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Abortion." He goes, "Yeah, what about it?" So the Lord touched me deeply, and I said to myself, this has to stop. What can I do? I was pregnant with my first child. It was Good Friday. I wanted to see a clinic. I wanted to see, does this really happen? And the people were lined up in front of the abortion clinic. I was so amazed at them. They were quietly reading their scripture, praying the rosary, such a peaceful presence. And these other people were spitting at them. I remember one of the pastors, it was Catholics and Protestants there, they spit right in his glasses. He just wiped them off and put them back on again and began to read a scripture. And I was so amazed at the peacefulness. I said, something special about these people. And as I got involved in the pro-life movement, I realized it's Jesus. That's what's special. So it can be anybody. It can be a grandmom, a dad, a teenager, because it's just Jesus working through us. I mean, we're his hands and feet. So you don't go there feeling proud. You're humbled, continually humbled at what God is doing. Nothing that comes from us would ever do that. Nothing. It's the power on high coming through us. And it doesn't matter who you are, Jesus will use you. I believe it with my whole heart. Yeah.